On this week's episode, we talk about The Amateur.
And other pop culture news from the week.
This week we saw the new Rami Malek, Laurence Fishburne, John Bernthal, Juliana Nielsen. I think it's Juliana Nicholson. Anyways. And pretty girl, what's her name? Oh gosh.
I was just thinking of it. She's the new Lois Lane, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And she looks just like Zooey Deschanel and brunette, blue eyes. Ah, dang it. Hold on. I'll find the IMDb.
I'm gonna remember as soon as you click.
You are.
Yeah.
I'll be so impressed.
Rachel
Anyway,
Brosnahan.
there it is. Good job.
Yes.
Brosnahan.
Huh?
There's an S.
I for some reason I think the S is mute. I think I heard
it's
somewhere.
silent.
Brosnahan.
Was it the same person
Brosnahan?
who told me that it's Amanda Seyfried?
No.
You gotta watch out for those
the
people.
person, the voice is in your head. Anyways, so The Amateur, which is a remake of a 1981 movie. The original with, I think it's John Savage and Christopher Plummer, among other people. And this one, the trailer was exciting.
Oh, and these are all based on a book too.
Yes.
So there's another film, and there's originally a book.
Yeah, granted, there's some difference between the original, the book and the original movie, and this one. The original movie is closer to the book than this one. This one is not super far from it, but there's like differences. You know, the 80s, right? People try to be faithful. It's so interesting, you know, in the precarity, when you don't have all the resources, you try to do your best to stick to the source material, even though it's, I don't know, having Snow White, but you don't have the resources and the special effects that we have nowadays. And nowadays we have, and they choose to corrupt source materials by changing, you know, just because of the politics of the day. But anyways, so The Amateur, remake of this 1981 movie inspired by the book with the same name. The trailer was exciting. I really liked. It was kind of like Revenge of the Nerd. And by Revenge of the Nerd, I mean the nerd searching for revenge, John Wick style, but not really.
But all of his nerdy ways, because he's really bad at all the things that John Wick is really good at.
It's like just like very, very Jack Ryan type of vibes.
Yes.
Because he is an analyst. He works for the CIA, but he's not like a super agent. They show super agents.
Yeah.
But he's not the case. He's a code and encryption specialist, right? So the premise of the movie is his wife dies. I'm sorry, it sounds like a spoiler, but it's in the trailer. And again, if you were around in 1981 and after, you might have seen the original movie or the book. So his wife dies, and as working for the CIA, is like, I need to find these people. I need to, revenge, kill them.
Yeah.
Good old revenge. And because he's a skinny nerd, that's not only skinny or nerd, but he looks like Rami Malek.
Yeah.
So the boss says, "What the heck are you talking about, man? We couldn't beat a nun, a 9-year-old nun."
Yeah.
Also, all on the trailer, but they find technological, skillful ways.
Through the power of math and engineering
to get his revenge.
Yeah.
It's good. It's refreshing because it's a creative idea. The book was creative in the original movie as well. And this one they followed the trend of, telling that story that by itself is very interesting, very compelling. The world of espionage and CIA and enemies of America.
Clever heists, cool tech.
Yeah.
Clever workarounds, things like that.
Yeah. Fun. I feel like there was something that when I watched the trailer, I was like, this is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. And after you said that, I was like, yeah, you're totally right. I could see it. it everywhere.
And it did. Because every other movie that has like, and this one did. And it was, for me, was a good surprise because they didn't do what everybody else is doing. They They told the story as the story was originally told. And what else? Rami Malek is great on it because he's a great.
Yeah, it's just the right role for him.
He's a great actor. Rachel Brosnahan, she's really good too. But again, it's not
She's
about
a great
her.
dead wife. She does all the right dead wife things.
She does dead wife with very talent. I wonder if she's really dead. Anyways,
Or is she really a wife?
no.
What?
I mean, she's gonna be on Superman.
That's true.
Unless they shoot Superman before she was dead.
Wow, that's commitment to a part. Dare I say too much?
Yeah, and Laurence Fishburne is there in a role of mentor, which he played very well on Matrix's Morpheus.
Isn't he also like kind of the armor supplier guy in John Wick?
That's right. He's the king
Kind
of
of
the
different.
king of the rats. Is that they call?
Something like that,
Yeah.
the Rat King. And he's got all the fun.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
Toys.
good. That John Wick universe is so interesting, so well
It really
done.
is. And also Laurence Fishburne can show up and do like very similar roles over and over.
Yeah.
I
Like
never
like
upset
what
about
he did in Pulp Fiction, right?
he didn't.
Ah!
He didn't. I had
to think. Right.
But I made it through.
Yes. Anyways, so very entertaining, very bits of thriller, very action. There's action, even though the guy's a nerd, as you mentioned. And I thought that was really good. They changed a little bit at the end. You're not gonna say what. And a little bit, very little, on the say the end of second act, and basically the end of third act. But overall, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I would agree. I was a little disappointed at how little of John Bernthal there was involved. But it was fine. Like that's just because I like John Bernthal and the characters that he usually plays. But the movie itself, everything he said, it's a clever story. It's well told. It has all the fun spy stuff and the ethical and moral dilemmas, and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like overall, between this and Black Bag, so far it's been a really good year for spy film enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Because these were both, I think, solid entries. Also, great plugs unexpectedly for marriage and how great that is. Finding your person. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the spy movie type thing.
Yes. The Amateur is available in theaters everywhere. If you're curious to see the original, we might at some point.
Yeah.
If you're curious to see the original, it's available on Hulu. Go check The Amateur with Rami Malek.
That was not our only trip to the theater this week. We also took our kids to see a new film from Angel Studios. This is an animated film for families, for children, called King of Kings.
Yes. And what they say, the greatest story ever told, is that how they call it? Yeah, it's the greatest story ever told, the story of Jesus Christ. And that's what Angel Studios, and they do quality film, they do quality family film. I think this is the first for kids, right? We've seen.
That I can think of. It's like very specifically.
We've seen one. There was like kids were the focus, were the kidnapped. Definitely not for kids.
No.
Sound of Freedom. Excellent. But on this one, it's focused on kids. The story is narrated for and with the use and participation of a kid, which I honestly didn't see the trailer. I knew the guys do a good job. I heard good things. It was like about Jesus. Yeah, let's see. Give it a chance. And I was impressed. It was better than I thought. It has a stellar cast.
Oh yeah, and I think the casting is a big part of why this was so successful. Oscar Isaacs is the voice of Jesus. Perfect. I know he's Guatemalan and not Israeli, but like just flawless. I think his voice, his affects, his mannerisms. He was great Joseph in the Nativity, and he's a great. It was a perfect choice.
Yeah.
And then Kenneth Branagh is the voice of Charles Dickens, who's the one who's narrating the story, telling the story to his son.
And about Charles Dickens.
Brilliant.
It's that was, I think, was like very, very smart, very creative to do this, using Charles Dickens as a narrator. We know he wrote a book for his children about Jesus Christ. I think it's, oh gosh, what's the name?
I don't know. I'll see if I can
The
find
life, the life of the Jesus Christ. What John Dickens Jesus Christ? You're going to see, you're gonna pop right away. Jesus Christ.
The Life of Our Lord.
The life of our Lord, and his love for Jesus, and he wants to share with his kids. And the genius writer, what he did, he wrote, and he probably read, or anyways, in the movie they used all that as Dickens is out trying to work his Christmas Carol, right? That became big
Beloved
Christmas
classic that defined
reference.
Christmas as it is today.
And he has these things with the kids. The kids are small and they're messy, like small kids are. And when he gets home, with a wife's suggestion, he tells the kid the story.
Uma Thurman, by the way,
Yes.
is the wife.
He tells the story of Jesus Christ. And no secrets. The story of Jesus Christ is fairly known. But he tells to a kid, and the kid, like many kids or even many adults, when we've been told, we read those stories, we put ourselves on that place. So the kids jump on that moment, and it made me think of Star Trek, of all things, because imagine we get to a point in technology that we can tell our kids stories through holodeck technology.
Yeah, just go straight there.
Yeah, and it's like elements of what's a Princess Bride, right? When there's a grandpa telling a kid a story, and this one is the father, and he tells the story, and the kid is there, and the father is there, and the kid learns from the birth of Christ to the resurrection, going through some moments. And it's not a spoiler. Everybody knows. And if you don't know, you might text us. We might find someone to go teach you.
Yeah.
But it goes through all the important moments of mankind, of human history, going back to Adam and Eve, and also to the slavery of the Jews, of the Hebrews in Egypt. So it connects like the whole shebang, let's say.
Yeah, this whole plot device of having of telling us the story through like Charles Dickens teaching his son really allows for all of that, for his son to be like, wait, what does that mean? Like, what are they celebrating in Jerusalem? The Passover. And then he explains what the Passover is. And like, why did Jesus have to die? Well, let me tell you about Adam and Eve. What is a manger? So it allows for all of that and makes it extremely child friendly. But it also makes it so that they, the New Testament, the Gospels aren't a terribly thorough or complete account of Christ's mortal life, right? There's a lot of gaps. Like we have like his birth, flight to Egypt, comes back 12 years old, and then all of a sudden he's 30. Like there's a lot of gaps in there. And so this kind of lets us weave in and out. And then also, like you said, the little boy is almost like an avatar for us being in the film and interacting, or like in the story and interacting and all that in a way that was really beautiful and quite effective. We took our kids to see it. They're 8 and almost 6, and they were into it.
Yeah,
they were quite affected.
There were the families there with the kids, and the movie does exactly what intended to. It teaches and entertains. It has funny moments. It has very sad, tragic moments, and the fact that they had a narrator that jumps into the story with or a co-narrator, if it maybe a visual narrator, as participant. That at the end of the story, there's in the beginning of the story, it has one person, and at the end of the story, you have a person transformed by the story. So it creates this character development of a story of a narrator, which is like very, very interesting. And again, putting Dickens, that almost single-handedly developed the way we tell stories through film, right? With his Christmas Carol and other works, so imagetic, so to the point that basically teach us how to make film, how to make movies before we even had access to that. Very good. Stellar cast. They also have like Forrest Whitaker, Mark Hamill.
That's right. Pierce Brosnan.
Frank Tatasciore. His Frank was Fred. Fred?
Yeah, Fred said all the voice acting greats. D. Bradley
Vanessa
Baker, D. Bradley Baker, Jim Cummings, and Fred Tatasciore.
And the guy. Let's go, Anakin. The guy that voiced.
Oh yes, James Arnold Taylor.
James Arnold Taylor.
Yes. In fact, there was one moment where I was almost distracted because it's like the Roman guards who were like performing the crucifixion. I'm like, that's Jim Cummings.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Ben Kingsley, right? He voices
right.
Caiaphas.
Yes,
Caiaphas, I think.
Caiaphas.
Caiaphas.
Oh,
the kid.
one other thing they did very well there, the whole like the whole passion, like everything that happens from like between the Garden of Gethsemane and the cross is extremely violent. But in this film, they managed to show it and explain it, but as gently as you can while still showing what happens, like in a very child-friendly way. Nothing is gratuitous or graphic or explicit, but I don't feel like they were really holding back. They handled it really well.
Yeah.
It can be some of the Christian imagery can be a little much, and this one I feel like they handled it very well.
Yeah, I mean, for the audiences, for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, they would not show like Mel Gibson did, even though he did a terrific job.
Right? Yeah, Mel Gibson did it super accurately, and it was rated R, is what I'm saying. Like you can do it. You can tell us what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was hurt. He was broken, and he was killed.
Yeah.
And they showed this to kids in a way that will not traumatize kids.
Right.
It will touch them. It will.
It's no small feat.
Yeah. And of course the voice of the kid, I just remembered. I can't remember his name, but he was in Jojo Rabbit. He was Jojo.
Oh, Jojo. Okay, okay.
Yeah. No, terrific, excellent. Great call for Easter. Easter's coming next week. Next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's great to take the kids. It's an Angel Studios properties, an Angel Studios movie. That means after the movie, after the beautiful credits with beautiful animation and beautiful song by Christian Chenoweth, there's a message that Angel Studios always have, this time delivered by kids that watch the movie, that you can pay forward if you want to watch this movie. If you want someone to watch this movie, you can go to Angel Studios and buy them tickets, donate tickets to a stranger, to a neighbor, meaning to someone that is not you, not necessarily a neighbor on your street, but maybe on the other side of the country or even the world.
Yeah.
And it's a very good strategy. Is word to mouth on a way that you literally put your money where your mouth is, because you're donating your hard-earned money to send someone to watch. And we fully recommend. It's really good. I was really surprised. The movie started, and it was Charles Dickens. I was like, what the heck? Did they get the wrong film?
It starts with Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes.
Talking to the third
like,
ghost. Like, Spirit, I will change my ways.
Yeah. Did they get the wrong movie?
What?
I mean,
it's a very...
never happens, right?
I mean, that's true. But that story, I don't know, it all tied in. It's obviously an extremely Christian story. He's not super explicit about it, but it's like, anyway, it was just really nice.
The King of Kings is rated, I guess, PG. It's available in theaters everywhere. You should go watch it, and if you can, if you're willing, if you want, you should donate for other people to see it too, because it's worth it.
Yes, it really is. All right, moving on to a couple of TV. Well, I don't know if I call this a TV show. The Adolescence.
Oh, it's a TV show.
Yeah, miniseries.
It's on Netflix.
In fact, it's done extremely well on Netflix. It's only been out for, a week? And it's already become Netflix's number 4 most watched show ever.
Yeah. It's like it's getting like a lot of hype. It has some strong qualities, even though there's some things that I didn't like. I think it was... but the hype brings you to watch it, right? Once you watch it, the first episode is like spectacular.
Amazing.
I cannot say that about the other ones, But once you're there and you hooked to the journey, right? You're gonna most likely watch the other ones because your curiosity is triggered, your compassion, your fears. You're gonna get involved for sure. So yeah, no surprise that everybody is watching, and it's getting good reviews.
It is, and I think it deserves them. But I think one thing that might trip up viewers, and definitely took me a minute to get past, the first episode sets you up for a really interesting crime procedural, and that's not what this series is.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people. I saw a lot of people talking about whodunit. It's not a whodunit.
It's not a whodunit.
The show. How can I say this? The show starts at the end, and then several different groups of characters go retrospect that to see what went wrong, how this happened, and of course
and how they're gonna survive after.
Yeah, and of course this character's in denial, like like everything in life, and Stephen Graham, what's the name of his? Tony, you didn't get the names. Anyways,
I didn't.
Stephen
Sorry.
Graham wrote and produced and
acted. Acted the heck out of it.
Yeah, no, he's a good actor.
Really, everyone involved, I think,
Yeah.
did really well.
Yeah, no, yeah. The cast was very talented. I have problems with some of the story, some of the pace. Oh, talking about the pace, the show, each episode is shot on a continuous 1 hour shot, which was extremely produced and rehearsed to no cuts.
Yeah.
So that's been done before, but with cuts, like with some digital makeup, it doesn't look like it's a cut, but there's a
like
cut.
1917.
Like 1917, and it's clear doesn't have a cut because there's a moment that cuts from midday, full sunlight, to night.
Right.
I think the character falls and
He's
crashes
like unconscious or something.
falls asleep or something like that. So of course there's a cut there.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in a minute. Birdman is an entire one long shot, and it's been done before, successful. In this one, on the first episode, I think it really works to tell the story.
It's an incredible way to lay out what happens in the first episode.
Yeah.
Because it had us absolutely hooked in, and because I think because of the one shot, I very much felt like we were along for that whole ride. Like we were in the room with them, we were feeling the feelings, like we were there for everything. Super effective.
Yeah.
The second episode, kind of. The third episode, I feel like it was totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
It didn't really add anything to it.
If anything, they have to find the strategies to move from one place to the other.
Yeah.
With the camera, so they driving somewhere and talking, listening to music, and, and it's not like
that was the fourth.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not like amazing dialogue, like Tarantino type of dialogue. It's just like common dialogue, but they have to get there, and the camera has to follow them. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk. And then and that, I think that hurts the pace. That hurts the storytelling in a way that's like if the camera has to follow you and you have to do certain things, you cannot stop. You cannot create ellipses. So I'll elongate the product in ways that I think was And overall, I think again I restate that the first episode is really good. The second, there's a lot going on, but nothing really for the sequence of the story.
Yeah, and I think that really depends on what you think the story is or what you're expecting from it. If you're expecting a crime procedural or a whodunit, which is kind of what I was, that's what the first episode definitely sets you up for, then it does kind of fall apart. But for me, it kind of shifted to this isn't a whodunit, this is more like and this is going to sound so pretentious, and I get that and I hear it, but I haven't figured out a different way to say this. I feel like it's almost it's very introspective, almost like a meditation on an essay about adolescence in the 21st century and what is happening to these kids and what's happening to these families and what's leading kids to do these horrific things. and to do what they do to each other and all the rest.
Yeah, I thought about that, but then from the second episode that they could like dive into that.
I thought that's what the second episode was.
Yeah, but then they move from that to back to the main element of the first episode, which is the boy.
Right, so I feel like so the first episode is like, here's what's happened. The second episode is like, here are the social trends of the school that led to it. The third episode is like, okay, here's the kid. Here's why like he specifically did what he did. And then the fourth episode is like, how on earth is his family gonna put the pieces back together
So
afterwards? If you're looking for a satisfying a satisfying ending, you're not gonna get it. Just let go of that.
If the third episode goes back to some of adolescence elements, it still doesn't do much because it's only him and only specifics of his story and the show, and then moves to the next one, which goes back to the parents. And I don't know. I think it was of all the problems I have with the show, I think the name doesn't resonate the show as a whole. It's there, but on the second episode, you feel like that might happen when they have like this kid and this kid and this other kid and different stories and how they live on their world. There's their own with their own language and their own symbols. But then the episode end is like out. It feels like out of place, especially considering that the two sides of the story, meaning the two adolescents involved in the story, one gets the focus, and the other one gets like a little bit here and there. She's mentioned, she's praised, she's grieved when someone grieved for her, and I don't know. I think the first episode is worth praise. It's really good. I think the camera was essential for grabbing you by the arm and let's go on the story together. And once you're there for the journey, you might finish. But I think the rest has more problems than as a one coherent story. I think it loses. It takes too many directions. And if you want to do a 10, 15 series, sure, you go to different directions, but you're doing a concise story, even though it's 4 hours. When you do that, then you start moving here, and then you go back, and then you go back, and it's over. I have my problems with that.
As we're talking, I suspect that most of those problems could have been addressed if they'd let go of the long shot after the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they could have, there would have been time to more realistically, more believably, like, develop the ideas, the conversations, the characters, and everything. But they were kind of constrained to like the real time, the unity of time and place and everything like that. And so I wonder if that. All that said, obviously we have a lot to say about it. We've been thinking a lot about it. I do think it's very compelling, interesting, thought-provoking stuff that's well worth a watch. So watch it, see what you think. I thought it was very effective, although obviously I think maybe could have been better. So we're not totally on the same page as this. Other people that we like and respect are also not totally on the same page. So there's a lot of food for thought here. They give you a lot to chew on, and
of course the camera choice gives us moments like, since there's no cuts, there's like close-ups that last a long time, and there's some strong moments using that. And
it does require a lot of the actors, and everyone was, I feel like, performed incredibly. Especially the main kid. Isn't this like his first role or something?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and of course is a product of it's based on true stories, but since it's
like inspired by crime trends.
Yeah, but it's a product of liberal media, so therefore it's heavily biased on the liberal way of doing things. So they change things from reality, that if someone is expecting a portrait of reality, will be surprised and disappointed because it has all those tropes that liberal media portrays and perpetuates, which again is always distracting on productions, and this is not a different case. But anyways, the show, the miniseries is huge. It's a big hit. If you didn't see it yet, you probably want to see it. Yeah. It's Adolescence. It's available on Netflix. And yes.
Okay. We also finished season 3 of The White Lotus.
Yeah.
The season 3 finale made another record for the series. They had 51% more viewers than season 2.
But the pace, I thought it was only bugging us, but no, it was bugging everybody.
Yeah.
To the point that someone talked to Mike. Is Mike White?
Yeah, that sounds right. The show creator.
The showrunner. And he was just rude about it.
He said, "Get the F out."
Yeah.
But guy, we were all right.
Come on, everybody noticed. It was a very, very dramatic, sad ending that even who had a happy ending there was like, it's like, okay, whatever. It's like nobody is caring about the happy ending because the sadness was so intense that overshadow everything else. And of course people died. Who died? You have to see it.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil that for you.
But yeah, the end was good. I mean, it's kind of like it's like, I don't know if it was the characters or the pace or all together. The previous seasons, it was like fun. There was nothing like crazy funny on this one, right?
Not really.
Because Jennifer Coolidge on both seasons, she was like a source for funny moments.
Yeah.
Also sad.
But also some of the other characters, like that 3-generation family in Italy.
Yeah.
I thought there were a lot of laughable moments. Like, oh my gosh, those guys. Oh, so just like 3 idiots.
Sharing prostitutes.
Yeah.
And STDs?
Yeah.
Anyways.
There were like funny moments or stuff happened, but I feel like this season, it was like, okay, intriguing beginning, nothing happened. Depravity for the sake of depravity that contributed nothing to the show.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Ending.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, it didn't work.
It did say
Thailand is beautiful.
It didn't do justice to Thailand, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, after watching season 1, which was Hawaii, and season 2, there was Italy. I mean, not that I didn't want to go to these places before, but I was like, wow.
Yeah.
We need to go there. Thailand, it didn't really, I mean, not that I don't want to go to Thailand, but this show didn't help. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, it was
Anyways,
fine.
White Lotus full season, all 3 seasons are available on Max. If you want to watch them, you probably finished already. If you're not,
honestly, I think with this season, you should take a page out of Woody Harrelson's book. He was offered the role that Walton Goggins ended up with, but he turned it down due to a previously scheduled family vacation.
A vacation of all things, isn't that funny?
And honestly, you can pass on this season. Spend time with your family instead. I think he made the right call.
If it's making huge numbers, and of course the Suit's gonna give them more seasons. So we'll see what happens next.
Maybe they can pull it together.
Yeah.
Okay, taking a look at other.
It's interesting. It's interesting on how Thailand is not a rich country, right? They have
I don't know.
They have crime.
Sure.
Like third world countries have crime, and it's in the beginning. If you watch the first episode, it's not going to surprise you to see people running. I thought it was crime. I mean, being shot is a crime, period. But I thought it was external crime to that rich environment.
Oh, I see.
But they're keeping that out of the show. Or are they? I'm not sure. I'm not spoiling. Or am I? But
because there also tends to be like in areas
isolated.
Like that.
Yeah,
and like the very touristy areas tend
true,
to have.
But crime gets there through the robbers, right? But in the end, it wasn't. Or was. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil. So let's move on. White Lotus or Max.
Yep.
if you like a whodunit
Mm-hmm.
at the end.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
who will do it? Right?
Okay.
Or more like who will die? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who will get done?
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, a Minecraft movie. Despite kind of downer reactions to the trailer, has set the video game box office record.
Yeah, it beat Super
Beat
Mario.
which was
I
such
guess.
a good movie.
Yeah, and I guess what Mario was for our generation, right? We grew up wanting to watch that. I guess the kids now, the young adults, grew up playing Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Went to see it.
They did.
Yeah.
A lot of them went to see it. $157 million opening.
Yeah.
And it's still doing well.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm eventually gonna see. I'm still not like deeply interested. It's Jack Black being Jack Black, Momoa being Momoa. It doesn't look like the writing is like the forte.
It doesn't. But we could be wrong. We could be totally wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe eventually we'll see.
Yeah, this might be one that we'll stream. But...
Since this one there is it's going for the long run. Since it's doing so well, we might find like in the next couple weeks, a week, there's like, hey, there's nothing to see. Let's go see Minecraft.
Yeah, that could happen. Of
course, you're gonna see Snow White first.
No.
Kidding.
Oh my gosh, we need to just let that lie. Okay, Mobland is another series we've been watching, and we're not the only ones. It broke the record for Paramount Plus's premiere day. They had 2.2 million viewers on premiere day, and it's only grown 300% since then. Like, their viewership has grown 300%.
It is good.
Yeah,
it's
been very fun.
Show. Wow, it's British mobsters.
It's Guy Ritchie. And TV is so good for Guy Ritchie.
With their nonsense and their bollocks and it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mobland on Paramount Plus. You should see it.
Yep. Also in TV viewership, March Madness viewership this year was the most watched since 2019.
Yeah.
Good
Gators
for them.
and was that Florida and Texas?
Yukon, right? No, Connecticut.
It's Connecticut? I swear it was Florida.
I thought it was Connecticut.
You sure?
Nope.
Check it.
I don't really. My phone battery's dying, so we'll just leave that to your
mine's
imagination.
dying too. Anyways, Gators won. Go Gators. And Okay.
Okay, Trump has given TikTok another 75-day extension. I don't know what the deal is here.
7. Oh, I mean, there's rumors we talked last week, right? That
I know. Apparently, there's so many people lining up to buy it.
The problem is not buyers. The problem is the sellers. Like the Communist Party of China doesn't want to sell.
So why is Trump this is the law? So the Senate said the Congress said you guys have to sell.
Yeah.
Supreme Court said yep you have to sell.
Yeah.
And now Trump is saying nah.
He's trying to like close the deal. The man is the heart of the deal. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Well, nothing's happening right now. They're getting away with stuff that the other two houses of government said nope. Not cool.
Yeah.
This has got to stop.
After this, it should just die. I mean,
let it go.
Yeah. Anyways, also about comedies, China.
Banning U.S. film.
Yeah, so China's like, hey, you're gonna put taxes on us, so we're gonna ban your films. And
that's a pretty big market.
Hollywood is like freaking out, but hey, I guess it's lobby and negotiations to try to fix that. Or not, the failures of American cinema, they sometimes are saved by the China market, but might not be saved. Yeah. Oh well.
Oh no. Okay, Martin Scorsese's talked about his cameo in the studio. So it was such a great part. He was in the opening episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
fantastic.
What's it called? The Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah. Oh my word. Such a good episode. His part was phenomenal. And apparently he performed so well because, quote, it's so truthful that it's painful.
Yeah.
Everything he goes through, pitching and trying to get this and then having his heart taken away from him.
Yeah, Hollywood killing traditions and killing their own people that
killing dreams, killing art.
People that build Hollywood has been killed by, the young ones because, they have all the ideas of either woke or diverse or they think they can do it better. Anyways, but he said it was truthful to how it is.
Yeah, which is a major bummer, but also makes the series even funnier, I think. Batman Part 2 might be facing a significant delay because Robert Pattinson is committed to Dune 3.
Yeah, Dune the Messiah.
Yeah.
Also, there's rumors, Gracie Randolph, right?
I don't think you have it in here.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Gracie Randolph
there it is.
said it that Matt Reeves might be going through health issues. They are like delaying the whole thing. And health issues, she says, there would be as par as with
Chadwick Boseman,
who died with cancer.
Jeez.
He shot Black Panther. He was already struggling for cancer. He hid. Nobody knew, but he was like toughing it up and doing it. But it was a battle that he couldn't win, even though he gave his best. So she said that Matt Reeves could be on that. Again, nothing officially confirmed, but usually she gets the scoop more times than others. But anyway, so Batman 2 is like on this this limbo, even though everybody involved said they would come back, but nothing sure, especially if James Gunn taking over DC and Warner going to crisis, and we'll see.
Yep, we will indeed. In the meantime, Prada has bought Versace for $1.39 billion.
Yeah, they paid all in shoes.
Yeah.
2.5 pairs. It was not even 3 pairs. It was like 5 single shoes. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, well.
Don't worry. There's still plenty of people who are still stupid wealthy in the world. Good for them. Okay. Latest from the set, or from Greta Gerwig's adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia. Apparently Meryl Streep is in talks to be Aslan, and I'm heartbroken. I love Meryl Streep.
Cut to Michael Scott saying, No! It's such a stupid idea. Aslan, there is like Jesus Christ. He's like, it's and they decided to cast a woman for.
I mean, if you are gonna cast a woman, this would be the woman to cast. But like,
yeah.
This I'm worried about what other
it's just
changes she's making.
It feels like one of those. Back in the day, this was more black and white in the sense that people would say that something like that, and people's like, that's the most stupid, retarded idea I ever heard. Why someone would do that? And someone would cut and someone would stop it. But nowadays, this is gaining momentum. Like people doing this more often than not. And
I don't know what this is contributing. Like, what is this giving to the story?
And when people criticizes, people says like, "Oh, you're misogynistic, you're racist, you're phobic." It's like, no. I read the book when I was a kid, and it was not that. It's not supposed to be like that. But they push that, and they blame you. Anyway, sometimes we are stronger, and people, Snow White, for instance, they blame the fans, and they got hurt anyway. So, yeah, keep blaming the fans.
Yeah, but
see what happens.
Well, yeah, okay. The Last of Us has gotten an early season 3 renewal at HBO.
Season 2 comes out this Sunday.
Okay. AMC is launching a Great American Stories anthology series, and they're starting with The Grapes of Wrath.
That's I don't know, a bit alarming, maybe.
You think?
I mean, if they come to do again faithful to the source material, right?
Sure.
If they come up with like for modern audiences crap and start changing things for modern audiences, it might be just like throwing those masterpieces in the garbage.
It's true.
So remains to be seen.
But what is it? The American Crime Stories? I feel like those have been pretty good. Like some of their other anthology series. Sure. I know it's different. I know it's not
and those are more recent, right? If you put like, I don't know, OJ as a tall blonde guy, like the world was like, what the heck? I remember that. OJ was it's like, we go back to Grapes of Wrath and older things. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is playing at Cannes.
Yeah. Mr. Cruz is back to the Palace, the Festival.
Palais de Festival.
Yeah.
For the 8th time,
my French is more like south of France.
Right.
Right, near Spain. That's why it sounds like I'm speaking wrong, but it's very niche. like Alicia version, region.
Okay, we're gonna let him keep thinking that. And this is someone that I'm sure everyone is just dying for. Angry Birds 3 is coming in 2027.
My big surprise was, is that Angry Birds 2?
Right? Yeah.
I remember watching the first one. I don't remember the second one at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
Okay, what's up with Sherlock and daughter?
Okay, so Sherlock and daughter. Sherlock Holmes, by the great Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, became public domain as it hit the 100-year anniversary a couple years ago. I think it was last year.
Okay.
And with that, everybody is like, let's do a Sherlock show. You don't have to pay anyone
Yeah,
about
because
it.
we haven't done any of those before.
Right. And of course, everybody's trying to do... I mean, if you try to do the same, right? Like, it's like, sure, by all means, like, try to adapt. And we'll see if it's better than the other one. You know, like Pride and Prejudice, like Karen Knightley.
All right, shut your mouth. Because you haven't even seen the other one, nor have you read the book.
I'm
so your
not
authority
saying...
here is nil.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm
None.
saying two different versions, right? And the public will judge which one is better or not. Anyways, so if you want to do that, sure, by all means. But no, not contempt on doing that, which they could. It's public domain. They doing like little twists, little different things.
Yeah.
There's a show called Watson somewhere.
This is all like old news. Like this has been done. We've got Sherlock's little sister.
Yeah.
We've got so many different versions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's another one coming.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is called Sherlock and Daughter on CW. So imagine how this gonna be.
Okay.
She will have teenage romances. Moriarty's kid will have a fling.
No.
I don't know.
Okay. It could be very fun. It could be very, very fun. But there are a lot of pitfalls.
Yes.
That would,
There's
great.
CW has things they always do the same because they work. I don't know if it works, but they do. So yeah, Sherlock and daughter coming to CW soon.
Okay.
If Andrew Thewlis, he was a Harry Potter. You should know him.
I don't remember.
Andrew Thewlis.
Okay, well, while you look that up, I'm going to keep going because we've got quite a bit more news here. Elle Fanning is being looked at to play Effie Trinket in the next Hunger Games movie, Sunrise on the Reaping. She looks right, so that could be cool. Saturday Night Live UK is set for a 2026 premiere at Sky. This is from Lorne Michaels, so we're just moving right across the pond.
He's finding an excuse to move. David Thewlis.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and Blue
Remus.
Hunt. Is she Helen Hunt daughter by any chance? Let's see.
Okay.
Native American.
With David Thewlis involved,
And descends out of Lakota tribe.
He definitely looks.
So she's
He's
not.
a good Sherlock.
Would she be native on the show? Like Sherlock had a thing with some native somewhere.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways.
We'll find out.
But
Okay.
back to the news. Let's close this.
Yes. Okay. So Netflix is doing a new Pride and Prejudice series. They've already cast Emma Corden and Jack Lowden. I will withhold judgment.
Yeah.
But
Emma Corrin, that is married or dates really heavily. That sounds bad. But Rami Malek.
oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. The live action Tangled is on hold indefinitely.
Yeah.
So like
Snow White
yeah.
crashed, failed, and brought future adaptations with them.
I could have saved you from this so much longer ago. This is completely predictable and avoidable. Vincent D'Onofrio says that Kingpin is not going to appear in any MCU films because of copyright issues.
Yeah, there's still the whole
Yeah.
Fox just belongs to Disney now, but there's still the Paramount, Universal. Everybody has a little bit here, a little bit there. Netflix too. So there's
Which is a bummer because whatever other issues there have been with the other Disney Marvel shows, his Kingpin is just like chef's kiss.
That's why
He's so good.
we're never gonna see a Hulk movie, for instance. Another one, at least.
Oh yeah. Good. Well, I feel like they had their shot like 4 times. So
4 times? What are you talking about? The Hulk?
How many different Hulk movies are there?
2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
See?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, what's up with this set photo from Avengers Doomsday?
Oh yeah.
It's got people worried.
People worried that the X-Men gonna die like right away. Which, come on, we know Marvel gonna kill them because they want young X-Men. But they could do like they did in Spider-Man Homeworld? No.
Homecoming?
No, the last one.
No, wasn't that Homecoming?
Far From Home.
Far From Home,
No,
yep.
that's the second one.
No, it's Homecoming.
It's Homecoming is the first one.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the first one's Homecoming. Second one is Far From Home. And the third one is Home Wrecker. Anyways.
It's not that, but yeah. Okay, wow.
Home.
What kind of fan am I?
Jeez.
No Way Home?
No Way Home. There you go.
Whew.
Yeah. So they have the old characters and they don't kill them. Like they are the heroes they fight, but at the end they go back to their lives, hopefully to fix the problems that they mentioned they had. And there's like a spectacular scene trailer fan made when Garfield goes back, and it's something like he goes to the wrong Earth.
Oh yeah.
And he finds Gwen, and she's like Spider-Gwen.
Uh-huh.
There's like so many creative ways to do that instead of just killing them. But they might just kill them. We'll see. The set photography is like, people's like, uh-oh. But we'll see.
Yeah. We will see. The Oscars have added an interesting new category that will start with movies released in 2027. It's Best Stunt Design.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will say, finally, right? Because it's the stuff like they do on stunts do is like, then comes George Clooney shows up and it's like, wow, George Clooney's so good. He was even on set for anyways.
Yeah, so this could be cool. I hope and this could also be an opportunity for like the superhero movies and sci-fi and horror and things like that to get some awards attention when traditionally they maybe don't. Another category for them. Anyway, and last but not least, the direwolves are back, folks. DNA gene editing genetic something company called Colossal has brought them back. In a manner of speaking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You can buy one at www.buyyourdirewolf.com. No, I'm kidding. But they're talking about next biggest projects. Woolly Mammoth is on the list.
Yes, they're working on a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
And apparently the way
as long as they don't go to dinosaurs.
Yes, we have multiple films about
because we know what happens.
There are a lot of scientists who want to make it clear they're not technically direwolves, they're like genetically edited gray wolves. And then what the Colossal geneticist did was like look at direwolf DNA or what fragments they could get of it, and then compare that with gray wolf DNA and find the similarities and the differences, and then edit the gray wolves to have more of those direwolf characteristics like larger heads and white fur and all that good stuff. And then the embryos were implanted in domestic dogs, who then carried them to term, and now we've got pictures of George R. R. Martin.
Cool.
Holding direwolf puppies.
Did he?
Yeah.
Cool.
It might be AI. I don't think it's AI.
Awesome.
Either way.
Well,
there we go.
That's it for this week. We come back next week with more pop culture news, entertainment, and the fun things you're gonna see. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.